What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Tesla Challenge. I think this is episode number 26, although it's been, almost a year since I've done a Tesla Challenge, so I don't really remember. Ooh, we got a Model Y behind us. How cool. If you're not familiar, Tesla Challenge is where I take Tesla's Autopilot and full self-driving software and challenge it to do the things Tesla says it can do. Which includes highway on-ramp to off-ramp. And with the full self-driving beta, I wasn't really doing Tesla challenges for a couple of reasons. One is because it just wasn't really there. It wasn't going to make it A to B without interventions. And number two, it just wasn't really advertised to be able to do that yet, just that it can attempt it. So getting on the highway here, we'll be able to turn on autopilot, and I am going to let the system do everything without intervening. So that is the point of a Tesla challenge, that the car can do everything and I will not intervene unless it's for safety reasons. So we're on the on-ramp here. You can see I turned autopilot on and I'm heading home. We're gonna see if Tesla can drive me on-ramp to off-ramp with zero interventions, meaning I'm not gonna change speed, I'm not gonna hit the accelerator, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna pay attention and be safe and let the car do its thing. So we're on the highway here, speeding up, turn signal has turned on. The car is gonna change lanes all on its own. And boom, we're now on the highway. So great job there so far with full self-driving. So yeah, I'm back on a public build of autopilot. So while I'm on that, we got to merge here. We're going to let this guy in. We're going to speed up. We're speeding up a little bit, but he had plenty of room. So I figure while I'm on the public build, I can do as many tests as possible with this to see how it does. So we are also now on Tesla's Tesla Vision version of autopilot. There is no radar in the front of my car. So the car, the Tesla Model Y I'm driving, is a 2021, and it is only using the cameras to make all driving decisions. So because of that, things are turned on, like auto wipers. I cannot turn them off while autopilot is enabled. The headlights are automatically bright. I mean, we won't have any nighttime driving in this video, but if you're driving at night, the auto brights are enabled and you cannot turn those off while autopilot is on. But anyway, let's let the system do its thing, see if it can drive me on-ramp to off-ramp. And then I think at the end, I'll have to make the right and left turns and stuff, but after we get off the highway, I'm gonna do a little bit with the traffic lights, and I have a section of road where I would sometimes get some phantom braking in my Model 3, like pre-beta, post-beta. Beta actually didn't do it as much, but the public build would do it sometimes. I don't know why it happened under some trees or something, but we'll try it with this car and see if the lack of radar makes that phantom braking happen less. So my experience so far with Tesla Vision has been really good, really positive. I've heard from other people that they're not liking it so much. Some people had an older Tesla with a radar, so we're changing into the faster lane. Car is doing this all on its own. Not really the best move because we got to get over to the right, but whatever. Some people who had a radar equipped Tesla in the past are comparing it to Tesla Vision and commenting on my videos and saying I'm not having or on Twitter I'm not having the best experience. But I'm just sharing. I mean, you can see the video, you can see what I'm experiencing, and kind of judge for yourself. So anyway, let's let the car do its thing. We should, yep. So changing out of passing lane, but also we need to be in this middle lane to take our exit. We're exiting to the right here. I mean, it's kind of like a divergence of the highway. But so far, really good. I mean, those lane changes were perfect. Perfect spacing, perfect timing on them. I mean, yeah, I'm having a good time. I'm really, really enjoying the software version. Elon did respond to a tweet of mine, which was super exciting, and said that, right now, Tesla Vision's max speed is 75. I can't turn it up even if I want to. But I paused that thought. So here's the adjacent lane speed, because we're going faster than the left lane. The car's just kind of keeping track of that. But Elon responded and said that Tesla is going to update our software soon, our Tesla Vision people software soon, changing out of passing lane, which looks good, and bump us up to 80 miles per hour, which is super exciting. The radar version hits 90 miles per hour on autopilot. That's the max. I was just saying, for me personally, the most I go is 80. If I could have 80 and just set this to 80, I would be set. So changing back into the faster lane now. I don't think we really need to, but we're letting the car do everything here. Exciting. At least the lane changes are like really fast and really confident and really good. Like, how many clicks has it been? I haven't been paying attention because I'm talking, but I feel like it's been changing lanes really fast. Anyway, let's let the car do its thing. We'll fast forward, and I'll check in with you when interesting things happen. So changing lanes out of passing lane here. I gotta say, I'm surprised it took this long. If you haven't seen my videos before, you might not realize that lane with the green arrow over it is the actual passing lane. It's called a flex lane. It's only open certain parts of the day, which is why it has the yellow line there. But the Tesla confuses that as, you know, off the road, so not a lane because of the yellow line. So it considers the middle lane as the passing lane. So it'll usually exit out of it. We're approaching this slower car here, and boom, instantly changing into faster lane. The gap here is a tiny bit, I mean, it's not tight, but you know, there was really only room for one car there, and boom, it just squishes right in between the car in front and the car in back. Keep in mind, this rear camera is a really kind of fisheye wide angle, so it makes the cars look a lot farther away than they are. That guy's maybe 2 car lengths behind us, maybe like 1.5 car lengths, so it had to fit in there, and it did a really good job. I really do think the lane, I don't want to say better, I'm just so impressed with the lane changes on this build. So yeah, that was about 5 clicks or so, 5 or 6 clicks. So the lane change, the amount of turn signal clicks before lane change, I think is the same, which is not surprising. A little too long in my opinion, but it's been working fine for this drive so far. But yeah, the lane changes themselves, like the actual movement over in the lane, centering in the lane, has just been so impressive with this Vision version. And stopping for traffic control. I didn't touch anything, it figured it out. So sometimes even on my radared version of Autopilot, it would confuse those signs, the green arrow, or sometimes it's even a red X with a traffic light, and begin to slow down just a little bit. Now luckily the slowing is never too aggressive, so I don't have to, you know, it's not like emergency braking or something, but it does slow down a bit. And then we're going to change back into the faster lane. We have a car approaching quickly. The Tesla waits, and boom, moves over as soon as it's ready, as soon as it's safe, and speeds up as it's making the lane change. It's just so, it feels so natural and so good. It's just really impressive. I just really can't get over it. I think part of it is because I had just read a few things, not a ton, but a few things where people were saying, oh, it's worse, you know, than the radar version. It's almost dangerous, you know, like whatever. I don't know. I'm not experiencing that in the slightest. And you can see it, you know, for yourself here on this drive. So the truck just disappeared there for a second. That was strange. It didn't affect anything. The car obviously is not changing lanes into it. You could see that, so changing out a passing lane. It was planning on moving over here. People were asking about the smoothness of the vehicles on the screen, and I gotta say, I don't think I've noticed a difference. It seems the same amount of smoothness. Maybe sometimes they're moving around a little bit more. I do notice, for whatever reason, semis can kind of bounce around a little bit on the screen, and I've seen that. Look at this, it's displaying 3 cars in a row, even though it doesn't have the radar to bounce under there. So, what was I saying? I've noticed the semis kind of moving around, but I noticed that on my last car too, in the whatever version I was on, the whatever beta version, when I was on the highway anyway, and had this visualization, the semis would just kind of move around. I'm not sure what that's about, but behavior-wise, the car never like made mistakes. It's not like it actually thought a semi was gone and moved over into it, or thought a semi was moving into me and tried to dodge it or something. It's just like seems like a fluke with the screen. So we're staying in this lane, a little slow. So one of the benefits of radar that people were kind of bummed about losing is radar can bounce under. Yep, my hand's on the wheel. We got this guy going pretty fast, and it waited for him. Very good. Is it going to get in front of this semi? Yes, awesome. So radar can bounce underneath the car in front of you, hit the car in front of it, and bounce back. And so your car can essentially see 2 cars ahead with the radar, whereas the cameras might be blocked, they can't see. So now we've lost that ability, but you'll see sometimes, just like how I can see that there's a car 2 ahead, the car can too right now, just because the car ahead's a little bigger, so my car can see it. But it's not as good as radar was. Will that matter? You know, I think overall it'll be okay, but I do understand, you know, people's thought is that that's like a nice, almost like a super ability, like a superhero ability to see 2 cars ahead, and we're losing that. But I don't know. We'll have to just see how it plays out. So far, you know, I only have 500 miles or so, a little more than that on the car. So far, it hasn't really affected me negatively. So we have some cars merging on here. This sometimes in the past wouldn't be very good. You can see my car's already tracking that one. So it's easily going to let it in. It's slowing down, and it's going to change lanes because they're going slower than us. I think if it was a little more patient, it could have just waited and then would have been fine. But I am on Mad Max setting. I should show you my Autopilot settings really quick. So there you go. You can see all my settings there. I have grown to like Mad Max. I used to keep it on average, but over time, as the lane changes got better, I switched to Mad Max. I just find that works a heck of a lot better than average or anything else, especially at getting out of the passing lane. Pretty much as soon as it has a spot, it'll move out of the passing lane, which I just really love. I always hate in these Tesla challenges, sometimes in the older ones, I would be in the passing lane and I would just get stuck here because the car wouldn't move over. And the whole point of the video is that I'm not going to intervene. And, I get people tailgating me and stuff, but not anymore. Very, very rarely does that happen. So we have traffic slowing pretty dramatically up here. I'm going to let the car handle it. It's doing well. We could slow a little more, but I'm, kind of trusting the car on this because I can't see ahead of this car, so I don't know what's going on in front of it. But that braking was so smooth and natural. We are on follow distance of 3. That's the minimum that you can have. Man, these scroll wheels are so nice. They're a lot nicer than, I don't know if the ones on my Model 3 were just too broken in or what, but man, they are just, the clickiness and everything is so nice on them. So yeah, the car for these slowed vehicles, now we're just going 75 miles an hour. Now we're going 35, a bit less than that. And the transition in that speed was just perfect. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It did that perfectly well. So now we want to change lanes. Now this is changing lanes to follow route. And wow, dude, the lane changes are so good. I just can't believe it. I mean, there was space and everything, but they're so good. It doesn't actually need to change lanes here to follow the route. I've had it on my route since I got my Model 3. It just some kind of map glitch or whatever. It doesn't hurt to be here, but it's just not necessary. So again, adjacent lane speed, although nobody's in front of me, and I could go 75 because the cars to my left are going slower. My car's kind of, controlling itself. Now this guy needs to get over. Oh, we're braking for him. Wow, that was actually really good. Like, it should have, not waited that long to brake, but it knew he was going to merge over, and the braking was, of course, a little harsh. We had to slow down to give him room, but it was appropriate. It was not scary. If somebody was behind me, they could have very easily braked there. So while you're watching, you might say, oh, the car should have just been slow sooner. I totally agree with you, but it's almost like it didn't see it. It was displayed, so I don't know why it made the decision so late. I'll agree with you there. But once it made the decision, the actions it took were appropriate. So again, vehicles in front of us going pretty slow. Model Y is slowing and puts on the left turn signal. There is somebody in our way though. So gonna wait for them like every time. And then boom, right now moves over. So I don't know, I can't overstate it. It's very good. All right, and here we are approaching our exit. As long as it does this correctly, turn signal on. I'm not doing it. Exits, boom, 0 intervention drive. That was about 25 miles. We're at 26.8. Took me maybe a mile to get to the highway, probably a little less than that actually. So 25 intervention-free miles on Tesla Vision, which is my normal experience. Now, Navigate on Autopilot is still on. It's going to choose this one, which is the one I always choose. It doesn't really, at this point, it's not really using navigation anymore. Nav on AP is off. I have to take over for this right turn. So highway driving it's there. It was very normal on the radar version on my Model 3 to experience a 0 intervention drive. Now, I usually get some comments like, oh, that's nothing, come to Europe or India or, whatever. And I agree. Like, I'm sure those places are a lot harder, but I don't live there. I can't bring my car there to test it. So I'm sorry. But that's my drive that I have for my commute home to work. And the car is just doing such a good job. So let's do a little bit more. I want to do this road with, there's a few things, the lights. I want to see how it does with the lights, and which my experience has been good so far, but let's show you. And when the road opens, I have a lot of turnaround lanes here. And on the old version, the car would move over into the turnaround lane. If you drive a Tesla with Autopilot, I know you know what I'm talking about because it's so annoying and I've been complaining about it for 2.5 years now. It's just like, please fix it because it's the worst. We can go up to 60 here. I want to see how it does. So like this kind of thing. Let's see. So boom, it stays right here, doesn't move over. Now I'm not saying it's fixed because we need a lot of examples of that, but I will say so far I have not noticed it swerving over. So if that's fixed, I will be so happy. But even in my Model 3, I could go days or possibly even weeks without seeing that happening, and then it would pop up again. So man, that is very encouraging though that it's not happening. So let's do this road, and then the next road where I would sometimes get phantom braking. Again, I would go days or weeks without it happening, and then other times it would happen. So let's see how it does. Okay, last little dippy here. No time did it move over into those. So I'm still hesitant to say it's fixed, but I'm gonna say it's better. And I'm so excited, and I'm really loving it. So that is super exciting, because that's been, I don't know if I'd call it a huge, well, let's call it a huge problem, because it was super annoying. And now it seems to be gone. So let me get on to the next road here. Okay, so onto this road, 60, 61 as fast as I can go. I can only go 5 over the posted limit. And this road, I sometimes would have some phantom braking. Let's just try it out and see if it happens. I can't imagine it was radar based, unless maybe the power lines somehow were interfering with radar. I have no idea, I'm just saying that. And I realized in the last road, I was on the left lane the whole time. I did that on purpose so that you would comment about it. Thank you for helping the YouTube algorithm. Okay, so slowing for this guy turning right, pretty natural, pretty good. Accelerating again, loving it. Okay, forward collision warning. I don't know what that means. That's obviously a fluke. Nothing happened. The car didn't hit the brakes. I think it was just alerting me, like, look out, just in case, but there was nothing there. Okay, so that's the end of this road for me, and I had no phantom brakings. We did have that one collision warning. The car didn't take any action. It just said to me, look out. That's what the collision warning is. It's not something where the car will brake for you. It's just saying, like, look out. And who knows, maybe there's something there. I can't remember it, but if you look back at the video, that my older versions of Autopilot with the radar was picking something up, and it was braking for that. Now, I never got a forward collision warning in that spot with the old system, but yeah, so I'm not sure exactly what that was. But overall, no phantom braking at all. Highway was zero disengagement, zero intervention. In fact, I just turned Autopilot on and paid attention on-ramp to off-ramp, which was super impressive. So, I mean, I'm go on this version of, you know, Tesla Vision. I used to rate the Tesla challenges have evolved a lot over time. I used to rate them and do all this stuff. And like A, like if I'm S, perfect. If I'm rating this, it's just too good. Everything was so smooth about it too. There wasn't a time where I was like, oh, it's so awkward. It's like hanging with the turn signal out. It's not moving. It's just like turn signal's on. It does blink 5 or 6 times and then it moves over. Like that's it. It just does it. And it's been my experience so far. Now I'm approaching 600 miles. You know, I drive a lot of experience with the system, and it's just good. It's just good. So I will come up with some more challenging scenarios soon. I know nighttime is a big one people want because it's, you know, the car relies on the cameras and it needs light. And some other stuff. Let me know down in the comments what you want to see in the future. I will get to working on those before, you know, if beta comes to my car, then I won't be on the public version anymore. It'll be, well, I guess on the highway I would be, but it'll be different. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. I look forward to talking to you down in the comments, and you will see me in the next video.
So Autopilot and I are happily driving along.